Today I'm going to be walking you through 4 ways that you can deal with a breakup. Is having some space. Actually have some space. It just doesn't work like that. Have they dated anyone since you? The best way to get over someone is to get under someone. So many people spend such a long time in a state of inertia. And for people that don't know what that is, or if you're from Essex, it means comfortable. And welcome back, people, to Men Know Something. Today, I'm going to be walking you through 4 ways that you can deal with a breakup. Now, why I wanted to get into this is because when you go through a breakup and you deal with ending it with your partner, it's fucking shit. And to be honest, no one really gives us a manual or a guide and tells us what to do. And look, this isn't going to be all the answers, but it's going to be a bit of experience from me to you, and hopefully it helps. And the unqualified therapists, that is what we do best. First things first, well done. You've broken up with your partner. It probably took a lot of fucking effort. It probably took a lot of time, and you probably went back and forth for ages dealing with your unhappiness before you decided that you'd probably be less unhappy if you fucking booted them. So well done. So many people spend such a long time in a state of inertia. And for people that don't know what that is, or if you're from Essex, it means comfortable. They just stay in this level of comfortability for so long, which kind of links into the region beta paradox, which basically is for some people, it would be better for them to be in a worse situation so they would make a decision for a path of change. So sometimes it's better for your situation to basically get worse so you can then make it get better. Now, when you do break up with someone, a number of things can happen. You can start to question yourself. You can start to think the decision you made was bad. You might regret everything that you've done. You might even start to think, what if that person could have been this? What if that person could have been that? If that person could have been that, they would have been that. It is so easy to go off in like a fantasy world and think about all the things you could have done. But if they could have been that person, they would have been that person. So there's no point thinking about that anymore. You've done the hard bit. You've pulled off the Band-Aid. Now it's time to crack on. So here are 4 things that I think you could do to help you with dealing with the breakup. So you've broken up with your partner. Again, well done. You made the hard decision. Now, the first thing I want you to think about is having some space. Actually have some space. I'd say give yourself 3 to 4 weeks of no calling, no texting. Now, obviously, this is going to be really hard if, you've got a kid or if you're living together. So again, this isn't a one-suit-fits-all. It's never going to be a one-suit-fits-all, but hopefully there's some people out there that take some golden nuggets from this. Have some space. Take some time. It's important that you actually soak in the feeling of the fact it's done and it's over, I think that it's really easy to, when you end with someone, you kind of want to be there for them as much as possible because you know the pain that you're feeling, and so they're feeling the same thing. They are. And so what you want to do is be there for them and be that support network. You can't. You cannot be their support network. It just doesn't work. You can't be that person they come to anymore to tell you how they're feeling with the breakup that is now happening. It just doesn't work like that. They need to go to their friends. You need to go to your friends or yourself or a therapist or whatever you need to do. But it's really important to have that initial space. You need to be able to soak in what it feels like to not have that person in your life anymore. If you are friends with your ex, you are still in love with them, or you never were. Now, I still think that is incredibly true. Again, it's not a one-suit-fits-all, co-parenting, all that kind of stuff. That doesn't count. When I say friends, it means like you guys are friends, you're not being amicable. This is like you actually being friends. You meet up for coffee, you chat about your day to day, you're messaging quite regularly. That's what friends are. If you're friends with your ex, you're either still in love with them or you never were. It just doesn't work. I know so many people that went through a breakup, decided to be friends, and it just doesn't work. Because someone wants to be back with you, you don't want to be with them, someone gets hurt, you want to move on, you feel bad, they try to introduce someone, and it just makes the whole thing an absolute shit fight. If your ex still wants to be friends with you, have they dated anyone since you? Are they in a current relationship? And for the people out there who are dating someone who is friends with their ex, be very fucking careful, because that person could be just biding their time until they get them back, or at least till they try to. If you are still in each other's lives, it can be really difficult. I know when trying to get over someone, you can be reminded by all of the beautiful things you had with that person: a bookstore, a coffee shop, a restaurant, a food type, your favorite program. Having each other in your lives, you're going to be constantly reminded of what that person did and what that person meant to you. I think it's important that you really do have that space. Number 2, don't feel like you need to dive straight back into the dating pool and sleep with the first person you see. Now, this is probably a big case of preach it, don't play it. I'm well aware, but it doesn't mean I can't give some hindsight telling you about the feelings that probably a lot of us go through. Now, when it comes to blokes, it's a very common thing that when we go through a breakup, and maybe for women as well, probably for women as well, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone. I usually find for blokes, our mates want to get us out on the piss, go sleep with someone. I find that we don't really deal with the emotions there and then, but we deal with it further on down the line. I find that women go through that kind of emotional evaluation at the beginning and then have that glow up later on. So it's kind of like role reverse there. It's okay for you to take your time. If you don't feel like going straight back out into the dating pool, not even the dating pool, just going out to get laid, that's okay. That's fine. You're not a coward. You're not weak. You're just soaking in the breakup that you've been through with a person that you potentially saw the rest of your life with. It's okay. You are allowed to take your time. Take time to chat to your mates. It's important that you have people around you who can support you. It's important that you have people that can give you a sliver of experience of something that they've been through. Don't ask fucking Dave, who's not had a girlfriend since he was 15. Ask maybe a mate who's in a long-term relationship, who's potentially happy, or someone that has been through a breakup and who could maybe give you some advice of what they've done recently. Probably the latter. Number 3, look after yourself. Now, in a breakup, you're going to want to go out. You're going to want to get pissed. Go out, get on it with your mates. That's just the natural part of dopamine chasing. Just make sure that you've got good friends around you who can keep an eye on you, because it's going to be during these times you're going to want to message your ex. You're going to want to text them. You're going to want to call them. You're going to want to tell them how you're feeling. And it just is not a fucking good idea. Nothing great, in most cases, ever happened after 2 a.m. And also, if you are in the breakup situation where potentially you're hoping to rekindle that relationship because of some extenuating circumstance, probably sending those repetitive messages at 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. is only going to ruin your chances moving forward. So probably have some friends around you who can block her number, delete it off your phone for now, and just can see those red flags when you're out and about, and people who you can speak to as well. Number 4, the mourning period. You're going to be sad about the life that's gone. You're going to be sad about the potential future you could have had with that person. But I think it's important to remember, if you could have had that future with that person, you would have had that future with that person. Right person, wrong time, still means wrong person. For some reason, people like to fool themselves or create this fantasy where it was an external thing is the reason why they never made it. In another life, we would have been perfect for each other. If they were a bit more like this, we would have been perfect. Well, they weren't like that, and it wasn't that time. So there's no point thinking about it. There's no point dwelling about that. They weren't the right person for you. But that's great. You went through it, and now you know they're not the right person for you. For the love of God as well, please, for everyone out there, stop jumping into relationship after relationship just after a breakup. Give yourself a fucking break. It is just mind-boggling to see how quickly people jump straight into the next relationship. You're going through a lot of fucking damage. You're going through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And you're going to meet someone who potentially, it's a two-way street that's quite susceptible to you, trauma dumping on them and love bombing. And you could end up in a situation even worse than the one you ended with. It's not fair on you. It's not fair on them. Take a break. Just a mandatory break. No matter what, for the next 2, 3, 4 months, I will not be dating someone. Yes, you might be casually sleeping around, but you are not going to be emotionally investing in anyone. You need to take that time to yourself. Please, just for the love of God, do it for yourself. The future you will thank that massively. Number 5. This is a bonus one. Done steps 1 through 4. It's time to go out and get laid again.